worst, of course, somebody being stabbed, like, you in the yard, like, in a helicopter, you got to be on the floor, or when something happen, you got to get down wherever you at, and being there and seeing somebody getting airlifted out the yard is scary, like, especially somebody that you know.
Brother today, right? That
yeah,
he was behind that wall with me, man. We kind of grew up together behind that wall, man. Early 2000s, man.
Yeah.
So him and another brother that we will be introducing, Success After Life Lockdown to. They both was the backcourt duo. You heard?
Yeah.
So
I heard,
across New York State, like I think that we used to call Rab the Glove, man. So today I'm here to introduce now. The brother just came home, man, and he's doing a lot of big things, and he's gonna share that with us. So I'm not gonna take that from him. No. I'm gonna let him share what he's doing today. But I'd like to introduce a brother Darnell, man, Tomlin, aka Rab, man, to Success After Lockdown.
Welcome on the show. Welcome on the show, my brother. Thank you. So tell us a little bit about you, Darnell, aka Rab. Heard he got crazy basketball skills. So tell us a little about yourself, where you come from, what it was like growing up. Tell me a little something about you.
Like I said, my name is Darnell, but like I said, mostly everybody know me as Rab, playing ball. I'm from Brooklyn, Bushwick.
Big up Bushwick in the house.
That's right. I did 19 and a half years for a crime I didn't commit. Because of my affiliation and my association growing up, my teenage years, still pending, trying to give it overturned. But right now, I'm going around, mentoring the youth, executive director of a sports academy program, Freedom Elite Sports Academy. Just trying to do a lot of stuff and get back to the youth. Absolutely. Where I didn't have it.
Absolutely, and we're going to get to that, right? Yeah. We're going to definitely get to that, man. So I just want to know just a little bit about your background, man, growing up. You said where you grew up at, but what was it like, man, back when you was growing up, man? How was things for you, man? Just give us a little, a little light, shed a little light on us on just that youth, man, growing up, man.
Well, growing up in Brooklyn, like I said, my early teenage years, I was outside a lot. Before that, it was a lot of in the house, family trips, as you talked about. But then, unfortunately, my parents had broke up at an early age, so I had a lot of idle time after school. So with that idle time, I tended to associate with a lot of people that I probably normally wouldn't have if I didn't have an idle time. And then and then I just became accustomed to street, what I mean? Drug dealing, robbing, a lot of stuff that I normally wouldn't have been into that really wasn't me, but I fell victim to making poor decisions.
Absolutely. So what was that age range where you started, where you remember starting?
As early as?
In that gang life, in that street life.
Well, I turned affiliated around the age of 16, 17.
Did you grow up with both parents in the household?
Yes, unfortunately, I didn't know how blessed I was until I didn't have them. So like I said, my family split up at the age of 12, which was like no excuse, but that was pretty much the turning point of my poor decision making.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about your influence growing up? Did you have any influence growing up?
Like I said, I love basketball. Basketball was my safe haven. That's one of the good choices I made, but I was having academic problems. I went to Boys and Girls, was a highly, public school growing up, with Robeson and Lincoln, but I couldn't make the team for unknown reasons. So I just I stopped trying, basketball. I didn't know how good I was until, like I said, playing in tournaments outside school and everything, and then I just didn't take it seriously until, like I said, then I just didn't take it seriously.
So my partner, what I think you're trying to say is, because a lot of times when we growing up, I'm from them streets too, you know what I mean, and we have someone that influenced us. We might not have taken heed to that, but it was somebody there that put in that place. I always say this brother named Skip, that we know that he. When we started selling drugs on the block, Skip moved and he used to come back and he became Muslim. He used to come around and tell us, yo, we shouldn't be doing this. After a while, we started hiding from Skip when he come around. But that was that credible messenger right there. Skip was that message. If I would have took heed to that, I would never have put myself in the position that I was in to grow up in those streets like that.
It's funny.
So, that's what we want to do.
Yes, it's funny you say that. I'm in touch with a guy, one of my mentors that been like that for real. What I'm trying to do now, he was doing it at a level where we trying to do it now, but we didn't know. It's a guy named Keith Norris. We call him NBA Keith. Anybody from around the way know him. He's helping us out a lot, helped me out a lot. But he used to see us in the corner, see us doing stuff we not supposed to do here, grab us up. Yo, let's go to the park. Let's go to a game and something. So after a while, we not doing we used to like trying to duck Keith. Like you said, yo, Keith just want to come out and pray. We was trying to duck, but it wasn't until I had to sit down in the cells and realize what he was trying to do. You know what I mean? It was longevity. He was trying to build us to be young men, but we didn't know that at the time. We just thinking, yo, he's just trying to get us up the court. He's just trying to do this. You know what I mean? He don't got nothing else better to do, but he had sacrificed a lot, and like to this day, he's one of them guys that was really genuine in everything he doing to this day.
Is he still a part of your life now?
Yeah, it's a big part.
That's amazing when you look at, you spent 19 and a half years incarcerated, and, being home 3 years to reunite with that. And I'm sure that now in retrospect, when he's looking at it and he's talking to you, he's like, I always knew you had the potential.
Yes, he
did.
Right?
Well, absolutely, just like us. We was apart for a lot of years before we reunited, man.
Yeah.
So just explain to me, like, I want you to explain to me that first night, man, when you in prison, man, that first night.
Before we go there to that first night, right? I would like to know about the crime, right? They're still pending in court, your innocence and everything like that. What was that like when they came and arrested you?
Well, when I first, like I said, happened at a house party, I was supposed to go to the house party, but I never made it. A lot of my friends, like I said, wasn't affiliated, wasn't associated with a lot of people that I was associated with. So we ended up just staying back and we didn't go. So the next day, I hear, a crime happened. It was around my way. Of course, I heard what happened. So we like, oh, glad you didn't go, lad. Glad you didn't go. 2-3 days later, I hear police is looking for me. Got my picture and a photo array looking for me. So once again, I'm not paying it no mind. I wasn't there. I'm not reaching. I'm going to work. I'm doing everything I normally do. So like I said, every day somebody's coming up to me telling me he's at the train station. They riding around. So I called the precinct and like, yo, I'm such and such and third. I hear y'all looking for me. Yeah, we just want you to come in for questioning this, that, and third. So this is a Tuesday, mind you. They said, yeah. I said, I'm working. Told them I'm working at. Told them what I'm doing. Said, I got free time Friday. They said, sure. Wednesday went by, nothing. Thursday went by, nothing. Friday after work, on my way going to the precinct, they came and got me downtown Brooklyn. Never seen the street again.
I understand that you was working for Bell
Atlantic at the time.
And you was just about to get hired that Monday as a full-time position.
Permanently.
And then you got locked up.
That Friday, yeah.
Back to the question that we're going to ask.
So that's just leads right into my question where, I want to know, like, just expound a little bit if you could reflect and remember on that day, man, that first day in prison, man, and how what was your thought pattern?
It was unsurreal. Like I said, it didn't really hit me. Like, I thought stuff like this only happened on TV. I didn't know nobody ever was locked up for a crime they commit. So when they had me in the interrogation room and telling me this and telling me that, I'm just like, okay, they playing good cop, bad cop. There's no way in the world they're going to actually find me guilty of a murder, not just a crime, something of a murder that I honestly didn't commit. So when I get there and I see the realization of the cells and the dorm, I'm like, I'm 5'5", I'm 20 years old, 155 pounds. I'm a kid about to go up north with guys who have my time in or more, with grown men. Absolutely. As a kid.
Absolutely. And that's a traumatizing experience in itself, So, during that time in there, like, I know that a lot of us, when we first go to prison, though, some of us get it fast, some of us, it takes a while before we get it because we fall right back into what we do in the streets. Right. So we have that safety net. Right. We go to that yard, we click up. So Like, how was that first year for you? You know what I'm saying? And during that first year, I don't know when it could have been, but we experienced some real harsh stuff in there.
Right.
Like, if you just could picture, like, what was the worst, thing you seen in there, the worst experience you witnessed, man, if you can really just share with our audience.
Well, the worst, of course, somebody being stabbed, like, you in the yard, like, in a helicopter, you got to be on the floor, or when something happened, you got to get down wherever you at, and being there and seeing somebody getting airlifted out the yard is scary, like, especially somebody that because we know pretty much everybody in there. You're seeing somebody that you just talking to, just in child with, getting airlifted out the yard is like a scary thing. That could be you, that could be a friend of mine. You know what I mean? That was always the biggest, scariest thing for me.
Yeah, no question. That's definitely a traumatizing experience, you know what I mean, to go through. And I always just looked at, because I've been through those too. What you're saying is exactly, I identify 1,000%, because, it was those moments where brothers that, I grew up with and I knew, and that got hit in that yard, stabbed up, what we talking about, and got airlifted, and then you start to, damn, is he gonna live? Like, and wow, like, that might have been me. I might, you know what I'm saying? I converse with him. That's my bro. You know what I mean?
I was chuckling, right, in a sense, for like sadness, because I remember my first time up north, right? I was a kid, and I went through Ulster. And at Ulster, I ran into some kid, when you go like those 5 days of school, medical, and all that stuff. It was like the third day I was in the school program. And I had got into a fight with some kid in the island, and he was there. And I seen him like talking to some dude in the classroom. I'm sitting in the back of the classroom, right? And I'm watching him talking, but all the time, I'm assuming, they plotting on me. And so I go pick up a chair, and I bust him in the head. So when they pulled me to the sergeant's office, they go, yo, what the hell was you thinking? I do the dumbest shit, and I go, I was hearing voices, I don't know. They said, oh, you hearing voices? Yeah, no problem. Send me to Comstock, right? So I go to Comstock. First time, go down the freaking basement. And first time around, I go to the yard, I'm on the phone in the yard, right? And I'm right underneath the tower. And I'm just like oblivious to really what's going on in prison, right? And I'm talking, I see this guy get hit up, I mean, like, get hit up, where he's running around the yard, the police is letting off. The yard, you can hear the shells, like, falling on top of the phone. And everybody hit the floor, and I'm like, I'm still on the phone, like, oh, she obeyed, did you hear that? They busting off up in here, dude, you got... And dude is yelling at me, hey, get up on the floor. And, man, that thing, like, woke me up to, like, this shit is real. This is not a joke. This ain't no game. Like, this is life. People come in here and can die.
Absolutely.
My biggest fear.
So when did you realize, like, that you was, you had to do this long bid? When did that hit you, man? Like, damn, I'm doing this.
Yeah, that was a good point. When I first got north, everybody tell you it's gonna be about 5 to 7 years for a pill, so I never thought I would actually did my whole time. I was always on to the next law, the next case, the next year for a pill. So I was a year or two was always my limitation. So after, and then like I said, my first couple of years was kind of hard because like I said, I'm up north for a crime I didn't commit. So like I said, I was kind of still making poor decisions. I was still gang affiliated. So I felt like I had to do something now to, compensate for me being locked up for something I didn't do. I feel like, okay, I'm going around, if I cut somebody, if I have a fight and I get locked up, in jail, if I go to the box, okay, it's vindicated now. Now I'm locked up, now I'm in here for something I didn't do. So I was trying to do a lot of stuff to make up for me being in there, so which was bad thinking at the time. Like I said, I was young, I was scared, I wanted to be a predator, I didn't want to be prey. So like I said, it wasn't until like about my 5th year till I got to Sing, and I got around a lot of good brothers that was educated, that was, had time, man. They was telling me, listen, you just got to be yourself. Because I wasn't being myself. Yeah. I was being somebody I thought I had to be to survive up north.
Yeah.
So
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
When was that turning point for you?
You
realize I got to straighten up, man. I got to start doing right, man, because I want to get out of here.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. It's about like my 7th year. Like I said, I was in Sing Sing. I started school. They had Mercy College. I ended up going to Mercy College, and
Pick
everybody.
up the Mercy College.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
I ended up going to Mercy College, and like I said, everybody asked me what was the turning point. I tried everything else. I tried to be a gangster. I tried to be a lover boy. I tried to be a drug dealer. I said, Dad, let me try education. Let me put my same work ethic, my same abilities into that, and see what I can do.
Absolutely.
And I did that, and I ended up achieving an associate's degree, and just
That's right. Yeah. Congratulations.
So like I said, I went up north. I didn't have no high school diploma, no GED or nothing. I went up north, and I came home, like I said, with a high school GED, and like I said, a college diploma, and just like I said, the education just widened my view, widened my horizon. It's probably one of the best things that happened to me. And I just said, from there, I just said that how can I give back? What can I do when I do get home?
And then you found that you was coming home. Right. What was that feeling like you're kind of seeing in your face right now? Like that emotion right there.
Right. Well,
right? When you got that, you're being released.
Well, before that, just to rewind a little bit, I had to go to a parole board before I came home.
Right.
So now going to parole board, I was nervous. I said, Dad, do I go? Cause I've been claiming innocence since day one. Do I go to parole board and admit to a crime I didn't commit just because to go home? Because when you go to parole board, all they care about is what has changed from the person that committed this crime to the person that's leaving out. It's not an appeal process. All they see is a convicted felon and what have you done lately.
You want to hear you own up to it.
Right.
So
So
they
I
can
had
seal
saw
the deal.
Right, so I had saw a lot of documentaries and videos of people who was getting hit at the board because they were still in denial of a crime they didn't commit.
Or claiming their innocence.
Right, so I was real nervous about that. So I ended up going to Otisville, and brother was there that had just went to the board and claimed his innocence. So I piggybacked. I didn't even unpack. I went and met the brother and got a lot of feedback from him, and then I kind of built my confidence. And then thankfully I got a letter from Ron Kuby in support of my innocence and everything. So going to the board, and like I said, after eventually making my first board on 6 months merit because of my education, I ended up getting 6 months early release, and it was like a breath of fresh air. You know, I was emotional. You know what I mean? I was scared because I did 20 years now. Coming home 2 decades, I'm coming home to a whole new world. You know, I had a beeper when I was home. Coming home to phones and everything is touchscreen.
After almost 20 years. Right, and I know that excitement, right? You got still people calling and getting that package. Go home. That you get your package sent, and that you tell everybody you was going home, or
Not everybody.
that you stay mum and was like, you know what?
Yes, you know.
I ain't telling too many people.
Right, my immediate family, of course, you can't hide it from them because they
Right.
just look it up. But yes, then getting clothes sent and trying on street clothes. All we get is sweaters. We trying on pants and everything. It was like uncomfortable. When I came over, it was like baggy fit, and right now it was like slim, and I was like real uncomfortable wearing them. It was new, but it was exciting, man. I was just so happy to put on some new clothes.
Upon your release, you had this goal, that you was going after. What was your goals that you went after upon your release? And just talk a little bit about what you do now for the community.
Right. Well, in jail, like I said, during all that time, a lot of my safe haven, like I said, was on the basketball court. That's where I was most comfortable at and everything. And I end up being what they call the commissioner in a lot of places. Everywhere I was at, I worked in the rec department, meaning I ran basketball, football, baseball, anything that went on in the jail. I was in the rec department. I put the schedule together. I put the rosters together. I did that. So it was a couple of times when we had no games, so officers and guys would come in. They're like, Rab, is the game today? I'm like, nah, not today. Maybe tomorrow. He's like, oh, man. Like, why? I said, no, when there's a game going on, when you got something going on, nothing happens. People's always doing something. I said, wow, I didn't never look at it like that. You know what I mean? So I said, yeah, this is probably my niche. I love sports, and I want to do this when I go home. This is my safe haven. So like I said, for years, me and my guys, we talked about when we go home, we want to put together a sports academy, a sports facility somewhere, kids can come in and have that safe haven, you know what I mean, at home. And that's what we doing.
I was there when you was transitioning into that growth and development, coming to school, going to school, you know what I'm saying, getting your degree. You know what I mean? We back and forth in that hallway, to and from, man. And so I just want to thank you and, appreciate your growth and development, in life and helping to change the dynamics that, this platform actually been created for. So we created this, this platform was created for you and I, to actually dispel that high recidivism rate and show there's brothers like us that went in one way and we came out another, and it's actually, being that asset to the community now, no longer a liability.
So real quick, tell us about the Freedom Elite Sports Academy.
Absolutely.
How can they be a part of? How can people reach you?
You can reach us at freedomelitesportsacademy.org. Email us at Freedom Elite Sports Academy. Gmail. I'm pretty sure.
So what advice do you give, those individuals that's coming home, and being reintroduced to society, man? What type of advice you give them?
I speak to a lot of brothers now. Like most of the brothers I still talk to is locked up or like forming contact. I always tell them, embrace the struggle. I tell them prepare yourself. It's going to be hard. The real world is hard out here. We times we making it check to check. Everything is a good problem to have on this side. So I tell them it's not going to be peachy and cream. Okay, how much family you have, how much support you have. It's going to be, you're going to hit that wall. You know what I mean? And when you do, embrace it. Like I said, these are all good problems to have on this side. I don't care what we're going to do. You got a roof over your head, you got food in your refrigerator, and you got clothes in your back. It's a beautiful thing. I might not never hear me complaining on this side.
Any advice that you want to give to anyone out there that's listening, that's in the streets, or think that the streets is their family, the gangs are gonna embrace them and be there? Like, what do you have to say for young, misguided youth out there, or even these grown folks just coming out from prison?
Still, yes. I was there literally, like everything they doing, I done did like tenfold. Like I've been there, I done that. It's not worth it. Like I said, I gave my life basically to the gang. I gave 20 years of my life. You know what I mean? And when I got sentenced and arrested, I don't know no homies that came up north, sent me a package. You know who was there for me? My mother, my father, my sister, my brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. Keith Norris, who was chasing us around, who we was trying to avoid. Come on, he was there. You know what I mean? A lot of people that I wasn't really hanging out with, but knew I had potential, knew the goodness in me, and was trying to get me to go the right way. Those are the people there for me. Not one gang member, not one person I was affiliated with ever came up north to see me.
Absolutely, man.
You said it perfectly. Like that was it right there. Like the streets is alive. You know what I mean? The streets ain't never gonna lose a fight, right? And it's like
undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated.
Yeah. So listen, I'm gonna close out by saying, Rap, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you home. Congratulations, man.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And you're doing big things at home, and we look forward. Success after lockdown. Look forward to doing something with the youth project. You know what I mean? That you and Dre. You know what I mean? I know that your heart is in. Genuinely.
Guns down, stop the violence.
Absolutely. So if we think of something, we coming at you. If you think of something, you get at us, man.
Appreciate
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Thank you again, man. Thank you for having this venue. Thank you for having this. Like I said, nobody's really doing this, and like I said, giving us a platform to, express ourselves and move forward.
So we looking to follow. That youth program. You know what I mean? Do big things with y'all. Appreciate it, man.
All those out there, man, that want to drop a comment, please follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We got Spotify, Apple Podcast, Anchor, YouTube. Drop a comment if you want to get in touch with us. If you know someone that's formerly incarcerated that want to, come up on the show and have something good that's doing in the community, you can hit us up at successafterlockdown@gmail.com. Like, we're here to just promote positivity. We're here to uplift our brothers and sisters formerly incarcerated that's coming home that wants to make a difference. Because it's time, people, for us grown folks that have done that, been there, to start teaching our youth a different and better way. Let's start talking the real and start educating and start loving.